Hello, my name is Jess and welcome to the Storyteller Fox. Come along and listen to read aloud books, be it for bedtime, story time, or simply to read along.
Oh, take a look at this. There are lots of ducks lining up. And it looks like they're going quack, 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 quack. And they're walking. Where do you think they're going? Looks like they're all going somewhere. They're going on an adventure. Well, this book is titled Alexander's Outing. It's by Pamela Allen. Let's get right into it and see what this story is all about. Alexander's Outing, Pamela Allen. Alexander lived with his mother and his 4 brothers and sisters in the most beautiful place in the whole of Sydney. But Alexander's mother was bored. So one warm sunny morning, they all set out in search of adventure. Past the bottle tree, through the iron gates, and along Art Gallery Road. Stay close, take care, quacked Alexander's mother. But Alexander did not stay close, and Alexander did not take care. He straggled behind with his head in the air. That must be Alexander there. Right at the end. In College Street, a man rushed out and stopped the traffic. Stay close, take care, quacked Alexander's mother. But Alexander did not stay close, and Alexander did not take care. He straggled behind, and he did not hear. By the time they reached the other side, Alexander had disappeared. Quack, 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 quack. Alexander's mother quacked and quacked. Alexander! Alexander! And all his brothers and sisters quacked and quacked and flapped and flapped, but they couldn't find Alexander anywhere. Where do you think he's gone? When they stopped making such a din, they heard a faint and distant quack from deep down in the earth. Look at that. Looks like it's fallen down. A young man and a middle-aged lady came over to see what was going on. The young man tried to reach Alexander, but his long arms were not long enough. The middle-aged lady had an umbrella, so the young man tried again with his long arms and the umbrella, but they weren't long enough either. A young couple picnicking in Hyde Park heard all the commotion, packed up their basket, and came over to see what all the fuss was about. How are we going to get him out? The middle-aged lady asked. The young couple had no idea. Cheer up, they called out, and dropped a half-eaten cheese sandwich down the hall. A policeman arrived. He knew exactly what to do. He lowered his whistle down the hall on the end of a long piece of string. Here, he shouted, grab hold of this. But Alexander did not grab hold. Alexander did not hear. A small boy and his mother joined the crowd. A feeble quack came from deep down in the hole. How were they going to get him out? Then, before anyone could stop him, The small boy tipped his drink down the hole. Yeah, now you've gone and drowned the poor little blighter, shouted the young man with the long arms. And they all tried to peer down the deep, dark hole to see. Everyone started talking at once. They all wanted to rescue Alexander, but how are they going to do it? From their basket, the young picnickers handed up 2 cups, 2 plastic bags, 1 lunchbox, and 1 thermos flask. The small boy still held his empty drink can. Then ducks and all, they pranced in one long snaky line to the Archibald fountain. Now, dipping and tipping, skipping and dripping, quacking and flapping, dripping and skipping. From the fountain to the hole and back again, they danced. Slowly, the water rose. Up and up and up until, look what happened. Out popped Alexander like the cork out of the bottle. His mother flapped and flapped and quacked and quacked, and all his brothers and sisters flapped and flapped and quacked and quacked. Such joyful quacking, such happy flappy. When the celebrations were over, they set off, still quacking and flapping, back across College Street, along Art Gallery Road, through the iron gates, past the bottle tree. And got safely home in time for tea. Quack, quack, quack. How did you like the story? That was a little adventure of Alexander and his family. Who do you think this picture is? Is it Hetty? Well, perhaps it is, as the title says, Hetty's Day Out. Where would Hetty be going? Where do you think she is heading out to? Let's take a look at this book by Pamela Allen. Hetty's Day Out. Hetty's Day Out, Pamela Allen. Once upon a time, there was a cat called Hetty. That's the cat. One morning, Hetty woke up, yawned, washed behind her ears, then squeezed through her little door flap into the bright sunlight. What a good day, thought Hetty, and she set off to visit Mrs. Gibson. Mrs. Gibson was in the orchard picking plums. You can see her there, she's picking the plums. Hello, Hetty, she greeted. Come in, would you like some breakfast? And she gave Hetty a plate of baked beans on toast. Yummy. What a good day, thought Hetty, and off she skipped to visit Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones was in the kitchen baking. "Hello, Hetty," he greeted. "Come in, you must try my pies." And he gave Hetty 2 pork pies, warm from the oven. What a good day, thought Hetty, and off she trotted to visit Mrs. Banbury. Mrs. Banbury was in the garden reading. "Hello, Hetty," she greeted. "Come in, would you like some lunch?" And she gave Hetty 3 barbecued lamb chops left over from the night before. What a good day, thought Hetty, and off she ambled to visit Mrs. Wilton. Mrs. Wilton was hanging out the washing. "Hello, Hetty," she greeted. "Come in, I've been making ice cream. Would you like a treat?" And she gave Hetty 4 strawberry ice creams. What a good day, thought Hetty, and off she trudged to visit Mr. Alexander. Mr. Alexander was hosing down his boat. "Hello, Hetty," he greeted. "Come in, I've been fishing. I've saved some for you." And he gave Hetty 5 fish from the fridge. What a good day, thought Hetty, and off she tottered to visit Mrs. Cooper. Mrs. Cooper was clearing the table. "Hello," greeted. "Hello, Hetty," she greeted. "Come in, we've made lots of cakes today. Would you like some?" And she gave Hetty 6 cupcakes with pink icing and a cherry on top. What a day, thought Hetty, and off she wobbled to visit Mr. McGinty. Mr. McGinty was painting his garage. "Hello, Hetty," he greeted. "Come in, I've cooked too many sausages. Would you help me eat them?" And he gave Hetty 7 sausages, dripping with tomato sauce. "Oh!" groaned Hetty. She sat down. "Oh!" she moaned. "I want to go home." So she turned around and staggered back the way she had come until she reached her very own house with its very own little flap door. What do you think is happening here? Look at that. Look at all the things that she's eaten. It's a lot of food. She had some baked beans and some pies and some meat chops and ice creams and fish and cupcakes and sausages. Lots of food that she's had. Do you think she'll fit in the door? Or do you think she's going to just stay there? Well, let's take a look and see what's going to happen to her. But she couldn't get through. Her stomach was stuck fast. Poor Hetty. Poor Hetty was stuck in the door. Meow! She could see her warm bed. Meow! Meow! She said. She cried. But nobody heard. Nobody came. Hetty was stuck in the door. What could she do? Meow! She cried. She moaned and she moaned. Meow! Meow! She pushed and she pulled. She jiggled and she wriggled. until at last oh. Now she was thin enough to squeeze her way inside. She crawled into her very own bed. Oh, what a day I've had, she thought. She gave a great yawn, washed behind her ears, curled herself into a ball. And fell fast asleep. How did you find the story? That was an interesting one of Hetty's day out and all the adventures, the foods that she tried on, and the places she went, and the people she met.
Hello and welcome to the Storyteller channel. Today's story time would be a song and a book about numbers by Ed Allen and Andrea Edmonds called 10 Silly Wombats. Let's get started. 10 Silly Wombats. Written by Ed Allen, illustrated by Andrea Edmonds. 10 silly wombats getting on a bus, 10 silly wombats getting on a bus. And if one silly wombat should make a big fuss, there will be 9 silly wombats getting on a bus. Nine silly wombats having tea and buns, 9 silly wombats having tea and buns. And if one silly wombat is having so much fun, there will be 8 silly wombats having tea and buns. Eight silly wombats going down the water slide, 8 silly wombats going down the water slide. And if one silly wombat should fly a little wide, there will be 7 silly wombats going down the water slide. 7 silly wombats driving racing cars, 7 silly wombats driving racing cars. And if one silly wombat drives all the way to Mars, there will be 6 silly wombats driving racing cars. 6 silly wombats swinging very high, 6 silly wombats swinging very high. And if one silly wombat swings up into the sky, there will be 5 silly wombats swinging very high. Five silly wombats playing football, 5 silly wombats playing football. And if one silly wombat should accidentally fall, there will be 4 silly wombats playing football. 4 silly wombats eating ice cream, 4 silly wombats eating ice cream. And if one silly wombat should very loudly scream, there will be 3 silly wombats eating ice cream. 3 silly wombats playing hide and seek, 3 silly wombats playing hide and seek. And if one silly wombat should forget to peek, there will be 2 silly wombats playing hide and seek. 2 silly wombats dancing in a show, 2 silly wombats dancing in a show. And if one silly wombat begins to puff and glow, there will be 1 silly wombat dancing in a show. 1 silly wombat waiting all alone, 1 silly wombat waiting all alone. And if that silly wombat goes all the way back home, there will be no silly wombats waiting all alone. 10 silly wombats sound asleep in bed,
10 silly wombats sound asleep in bed. And if all those silly wombats have a story read, there will be 10 silly wombats sound asleep in bed. Thank you so much for watching. For more exciting stories, please remember to like and subscribe at the Storyteller channel. Bye for now.
The end. And that's the end of our story time. For more bedtime stories, you can check on our YouTube playlist or listen to more storytime compilations at the Storyteller Fox. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.